mission at Ancestry.
Yes.
Like the second they announced that I was on there doing it, I was wondering if you've had any discovery experiences.
I'm so excited to share this story.
I gotta get my recorder going. I was just being excited with you. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, sorry, I'm all choked up from the last question. Just was thinking about my grandma. So I, we've had it at Ancestry for about 8 months or so, and I have had no success for the longest time. But one day, so I report to a new boss at Ancestry now, and his office is just like 20 feet away from me. And I hear him like shout in his office, and he's having success after success. Like every photo he's uploading from his grandfather's collection, that he's like finding people. And he's like, his grandfather was an architect for he built like the Mint in Philadelphia. Okay. And so he has like pictures of his crew and pictures of, anyway, and he's just like finding these people, and he's connecting with their descendants, and he's like giving them these photos and making these great connections. And I was just so jealous. So one night, I think it was a Sunday night, I get a Slack message from him on a Sunday night, and I'm like, dude, it's not a work day. And he asks me this question about somebody in my family tree. And he says, do you know who this woman is? And I said, yeah, she was my great grandpa's first cousin. And he said, well, I have this picture of her. And I went, wait, what? So he had a photo that was of his wife's grandfather when he was a young man on his mission. And he had served his mission in Hawaii. And it was a mission picture. So there's like 30 people or 20 people in the picture, I don't know. And one of them was this elderly woman. And he had run facial recognition, and it had come up with, we think this is her. And when it shows you on Ancestry, we think this is this person. We also tell you what tree they're in. And it had taken him to my tree. And he was just like, who is this woman? And I said, do you want to know the story? So here was the story. Her husband died. I think they'd had 8 or 10 children. Her husband died, and her youngest son left on his mission. And so all of a sudden she found herself in a matter of weeks completely alone in her home. And she was not having that. So she spent a year traveling around to all of her children where they were living in the country. And then she got back home and she realized, I still can't be home. So she marched down to church headquarters and she said, I need you to send me on a mission for a year because my son will be home in a year. So I only want to go for a year. And they said, well, where is he? And he was in Tonga or Samoa. And they said, okay, here's what we'll do. We'll send you to Hawaii for a year on a mission. And then when he comes home, he'll have to have a layover in Hawaii and you can fly home with him. So I knew the story, and Eric had the picture. And neither of us would have known that from each other. We wouldn't have even had that conversation if Recognized Ancestors hadn't pulled her up, recognized her, and then led him to my tree.
Wow. Thank
Right?
you so much. I know exactly the mission pictures I want to do.